And I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to congratulate you and Brazil on chairing the Security Council, and I'm very confident that your presidency will be successful and productive. I'd also like to thank Albania for their presidency last month in June. We thank the Special Representative of the Secretary-General on West Africa and the Sahel, Mohamed Anadif, for the information he's given us. We also thank the head of the Peacebuilding Committee, Mr. Rabab Fatima, and also the representative of civil society. We share the concerns that have been voiced today about the situation in many countries in West Africa, and particularly in the Sahel. The region is facing increasing terrorist challenges. There are continuing conflicts. There's also organized crime and drug trafficking. During the first half of 2022, at the hands of fighters, more people have died than in the whole of last year. And we express our support to all of those who are leading the complex fight against terrorism in the region. The situation from a humanitarian point of view is also very difficult. The number of IDPs has significantly increased, as has the people requiring food assistance. Many schools and medical establishments have closed. All of this requires that the states in the region, first and foremost in the Sahel, redouble their efforts to re-establish effective state control and socio-economic governance, and also strengthen regional cooperation. We therefore wish every success to regional countries in carrying out a joint strategic assessment of the situation for governance and security, and also in implementing the Accra Initiative. We welcome the agreement between Mali and ECOWAS achieved on the 3rd of July at the summit in Accra. Removal of sanctions from Bamako and agreeing the deadlines for elections are a positive event for the whole region. We hope that this step will help to rebuild trust, normalize relations, re-establish economic and other connections, and also open the path to cooperation in the fight against increasing threats and challenges. This will be helped by significant progress in regulating the disagreement between Burkina Faso and Guinea. At the same time, we must note that the withdrawal of the Barkhane counter-terrorist operation and the EU Takuba forces without Bamako's agreement, at least in the short term, is having a negative effect on security situation. In these conditions, on the basis of a bilateral agreement, Russia is providing the country with assistance in the fight against terrorism. We have already seen positive results. In this, we reject any baseless insinuations that attempt to paint the help provided by Russia to Mali and other countries on the continent in a negative light. We have not heard any complaints from the countries to us. We are deeply concerned that some countries, as was done today in the statement from the representative of the United States, speak so confidently on behalf of the population of the countries in the region, such as Mali, saying that they know what people want and what they expect, and that this is the same as what Washington expects. This is very worrying, because evidently the United States knew what ordinary people wanted in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya. I think that the inhabitants of the Sahel or of Libya couldn't imagine such a nightmare, which is what people are suffering now as a direct result of the direct intervention in Libya in 2011. Mr. President, we see that intervention from outside continues to cause discord in the region, for example, in such an important structure as the joint forces of the G5 Sahel, which Mali has been virtually compelled to withdraw from. But also what's not being taken into account is the commonly recognised fact that without the participation of this country, it will be impossible to defeat terrorism in the region. We're therefore convinced that the main role in maintaining peace and security in the Sahara-Sahel region should fall to the Sahelians themselves. We advocate the states in the region holding a truly independent line in resolving the corresponding issues on the basis of the principle of African solutions to African problems. Coming back to the subject of UNOWAS, we are convinced that the office has a large-scale and difficult set of tasks, helping to resolve regional crises, participating in political mediation, providing assistance to strengthen state institutions, and also implementing the UN's integrated strategy for the Sahel, as well as carrying out coordinating functions for other UN structures on the ground. The effectiveness of the office's work will depend directly on how successfully it is able to work together with other regional organizations such as the African Union, ECOWAS, the Lake Chad Basin Commission. We support the conclusions of the African Union Peace and Security Council meeting on the need to strengthen interaction and coordination between all of the structures working in the region in order to resolve the issues in the Sahel. In conclusion, we would also like to remind colleagues that after the closure of the UN's Integrated Peacebuilding Office in Guinea-Bissau in 2020, the responsibility for monitoring the situation in that country became part of the purview of UNOWAS. We therefore believe that maintaining Security Council sanctions on Bissau under Chapter 7 of the UN Charter, stipulated only in conditions of threat to international peace and security, is absurd, and we would call for these to be gradually lifted. I'd like to take this opportunity also to assert to you, Mr. Anadif, that Russia welcomes your commitment and your efforts to help the countries of West Africa, the Sahel, and the Lake Chad Basin in overcoming their current difficulties. Thank you very much.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for her statement.